We are live there. Yeah.
Added notice of this meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, has been provided with a posting of the annual meeting schedule of said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Said notice was forwarded to the Trentonian, the Times, and the Princeton Packet on December 11th, 2023. I would just like to make just two brief statements. This last week, we lost another member of our community, Helen Verena Holmes, who was one of the first directors of our senior center and a lifelong resident of Lawrence Township. Also want to take a moment of silence this evening for the members, the survivors of the Wisconsin shooting and those that were lost. If we could just take a moment of silence. Thank you. And now if we could have a moment of inspiration.
May we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties and continuing to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt.
Here.
Mr. Kaneki.
Here.
Ms. Perry had an emergency. She can't be with us this evening. And Mr. Ryan is unable to be with us as well. Mayor Farmer.
Here. Trying to see at this time.
I have been informed that Gregory Whitehead and Kirk Kinney, who were supposed to be here, are unable to attend. I think Kirk has an issue. He couldn't get back to the state in time.
Okay.
He's out of state, and so we're unable to do that. I want to wish Kirk a wonderful retirement. He served his community well. He's a part of a public works division that is second to none, and he is going to be greatly missed, and we wish him well.
Okay.
And Mayor, if you don't mind, I would like to ask, I see the chief of police is here, and the interim chief, Kevin Redding, is here. If we could have them come up during special proclamations. I think the chief had a few words to express because this will be his last meeting before his retirement on January 1st. And I know that you have been all over the drone situation, and it would be good to get a law enforcement perspective on that situation as well.
Okay.
Is that okay to do that?
Yeah, so we'll make that adjustment to the agenda. That's okay. With that being said, this brings us to our first opportunity for public participation.
Mayor,
Did I miss something?
this is the moment for special.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like, wait, what section is that?
Chris, thank you. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
I was getting rid of that drone situation.
So first of all, thank you for allowing me to come up. Mayor, Council, Manager, Tanya, and Mr. Seisbeck. As everyone knows, I announced my retirement for January the 1st. It's been an honor to serve the department and the community, and everybody over the past 2.5 years. I never thought I'd leave after 2.5 years of being chief. I love this job. It's the best job I've had. But apparently there's something else for me to do now. But I want to thank publicly Mr. Nowinski for giving me the opportunity and appointing me to be the chief and lead the department, as well as council, current and past, for your support in all that I did and allowing me to run the police department as a collective unit. I think together we made Lawrence stronger and safer and better for the residents. So we've accomplished a lot. I'm proud of what, we've done together and I'll look back on it. I'd also like to thank the residents, the community, our clergy, our the businesses, the township organizations, our community partners, everybody that has participated in the police department and contributed to the success and really building the community up to what it is today. So thank you. I've served this town since I was 16 years old. As a volunteer fireman, I started, and I learned at the first aid squad under Marie Tago Ferry back there. And, here I am 33 years later, retiring as a chief of police. So it's a pretty cool experience for me. And, I'm really proud of it. So the department is being left in good hands with Kevin. Kevin, for those of you who don't know him, he's a township resident, grew up in Lawrence. His father was a retired detective here. His father was the fire chief here. Kevin's been here 23 years. Definitely in a very good position to carry on the success of the police department. So congratulations to Kevin. And again, I know that he'll do very well. I could go on and on about thanking everybody, and I'm humbled by the support that I got from the community. It's a very intimidating job to take as the chief of police of, this town. It's 22 square miles, 60 police officers, which we're going to talk about in a minute. It's intimidating. And, to step into it and get the kind of community support and support from our town leaders and the clergy and houses of worship and the school district and everybody, it's quite humbling. So thank you. On to the drones. I put a press release out on Friday, and fortunately, I guess, and unfortunately, I don't really have much more information. Since Friday, since I put the press release out, I've sat on a couple of calls with county, state, and federal officials, and they just are not releasing any more information. If they have it, it's not being trickled down to our level. So just to touch on some of the highlights, again, if a drone does go down, it should be considered evidence. Don't go near it. We don't know what's on it, so it could be considered, evidence. Stay away from it. We'll call the fire department, and we have a plan in place to address such a situation. The 911 system is not intended for mere drone sightings. Okay, it's been asked by our federal and state agencies that only 911 calls get placed if you see the drones around critical infrastructures, the power generating plants or something like that. If you just merely see the drone flying around, the FBI has a telephone number and also an email address that you can upload pictures, report sightings where they are, and that information is in the press release. It's on our social media page. It's also on the township website, and it's, I think, Dan Alexander from 1015 published something as well. So I unfortunately don't have much more information. I just listened to a call today. I spoke to the Mercer County OEM, and they just don't have any more information at this point about the drones.
If I could add, similar to Chief Longo, I have also attended meetings on the state level with the state police, FBI, House Homeland Security, and the FAA, and the governor's office. We had a meeting, I guess, last week, and in addition to that, I've since had a call with the White House with regards to their take on it. And other information I could share with you is that they said the FAA has, just to give you an idea, 1 million registered drones in the country. And the number of tips that the FBI has received to date, the number I have, I guess, a couple of days, was 5,357 tips that have come in with regards to the drones. Many of them are lawfully operating. One of the dynamics that is happening is with the existing drones, there are persons or individuals who are also putting up their drones to look at the other drones, which is creating additional traffic in the air, so to speak. But they currently fall within the 400 feet in the air. Recently, one of the dynamics is that drones have been allowed to fly at night with lights, which is a new, opportunity for both persons that are just interested in recreational drones, and then also there's the potential that there are businesses that are also using drones. But just to reiterate what Chief Longo has said, you know, if you see one, there are the phone numbers and information where you can call. You should not go near them, and pretty much it isn't known as of yet, other than that there appears to be no threat to residents with regards to them. It's just something that is being investigated. So it's at the highest level, and here at the local level, we're doing our part.
Excellent. And then there was just one more, as my last parting pitch to council, since I won't be presenting the 2025 budget. So as I stated 2 budgets ago, the police department would, so we're at 60 police officers. That's what we're authorized to have in the police department. And I said 2 years ago that I didn't expect to be at any point within that year to be at a full complement of officers. Here we are 2.5 years later, and we still have not reached at any point since I've been chief our full complement of officers. So we're down to 56 officers right now. We have 3 that are out on long-term suspensions, another one that is out, and another officer that is out. And we have a officer who's going to be deployed, long-term military deployment for a minimum of 1 year during the first quarter of 2025. And we also have 3 retirements coming. What happens is in our patrol division, we have all uniformed officers that you see out in the police, in the community, in the police cars. That's the meat and potatoes of our police department. And that is the pool of officers that we take from to fill some key positions, such as detectives, our evidence and property officers, and for promotions to sergeant, lieutenant, and stuff like that. So when we pull those officers out of that patrol division, it lowers the number, obviously, of officers in that unit, and it creates overtime and fatigue to the officers. So I had put in the 25 budget for 2 officers to increase the department to 62, but I would almost highly suggest taking a look at adding 3 if it's feasible to the department to bring the department up to 63. Like I said, in the 2.5 years, we've done our best. We just cannot get, for circumstances outside of my control or the manager's control, we just cannot get to that number of 60. And that's what we need to run the police department effectively. So as my parting gift to you guys, I just wanted to throw that out there one more time.
Mayor, may I have a comment?
Yes, which one?
With regard to manpower, I'm gonna tell you, we've discussed this already. This is a situation that arose over the last week or so where we're down 1, and I'm gonna include it in the budget recommendation. I'm gonna include 3 police officers in the budget recommendation, as well as 3 fire. And the tough decisions are for you guys to decide, but I'll give you all the justifications for it. The chief and I have spent a lot of time together discussing these issues along with our CFO, Peter Kiriakakis. And like I've said many times, it's all about public safety. I think that's your primary responsibility, is to ensure community safety. And this is a situation where we have an opportunity to add another police officer. I think we should. It adds to the budget, but I think it's well justified. And I take Chief Longo's recommendations seriously, because he's not somebody that comes in and asks and asks and asks and sees what he can get. He makes the pitch when he thinks he has justification for it. And if you don't mind me just saying one thing, Chief, I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with you over these past 2 years, more than 2 years. I will tell you candidly, you've exceeded my expectations. You have been a source, a confidant to me. You've become a friend as well, and I appreciate that. You leave this police department better than when you started, and that's really the barometer for anybody that's leading a department to do that. And so you could retire knowing that you've given all to the department and left it in a really good position. And I think Kevin Reddy was going to do an amazing job going forward. And we appreciate you sticking around until your retirement. I know you didn't have to. You could have taken your days and said, see you later, but you didn't. to provide a better transition for us, and I appreciate that, and we're all deeply indebted to you for that.
Thank
And on behalf of Peter Kiriakakis, Debbie Monroe, and Jack Oakley, you were a part of our team. You came in as the new kid on the block, and you got right in there, and you were a part of our team, and you bit into the team concept, because that's what it's all about. We are stronger together than we are as individuals. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Kevin, I hope you hear that.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I would also like to extend to you my gratitude. You have been tremendous. I've gotten to work with you this past year, but I know what a tremendous community person you are and how much you care about Lawrence. And I am so thankful for having had the opportunity to work with you and to see you serve your community so proudly. I also have a little note here from one of the partners that you do tremendous work with, and that is Unity. They sent a little email, and I just want to read what they shared. They said, good afternoon, Chief. With sadness and gratitude, I say thank you. I truly appreciate all you did for our team. I have said to my colleagues many times, I wish we could clone Chief Blanca. I mean this, you have been most responsive and supportive chief in the entire county. It means the world. Take care and best wishes in your future endeavor. Happy holidays to you and your family. Veranda and Kendrick. Response Teams Coordinator for Unity, formerly Women's Space. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Say anything?
No, you can't leave.
Yeah.
They were so home.
I want to thank you. For the 15 years I served on this council, I was always able to talk to you as you were working your way up the structure. I know you brought your dad brought the Calavita bar. I saw your house being built. I couldn't believe it, how fast it went up. Was right across the street at Calavita's, I would see it, all right? The family lived down there. At first, I didn't know who you were until Joe Calavita started telling me who you were. Then I started to, talk to you, and you helped a lot. You changed this township. You changed the police department to make it better than what it was. And I know Kevin's got some big footsteps to follow, Kevin, but I know you'll be able to handle it. But for the years I've been here, I can't thank you enough. You always supported me. When I had problems, you was always there. And I can't, like I said, I can't thank you enough. I don't want to see you leave, but I understand why. So congratulations on your retirement, and I'll be seeing you. I'll throw snowballs at you.
All right. I wasn't gonna say anything, but then Mr. Connect said something, so I can't be left out. I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, what you do for the police department, and also just the police department in general. You make us all very proud because you care about Lawrence Township. You do the best for this town. You de-escalate where possible. You do all the right things. And it's been repeated over and over again. You helped me out when I was mayor and we had a difficult bias situation, and the police department helped solve it almost immediately. So I appreciate that. But I also appreciate even more something that I hope Mr. Redding will continue as chief, is that you were always a really straight shooter about, just like tonight, what the department needs and the reasons why you need it. And I appreciate that as one of five who sits up here. We have to make some difficult decisions. We don't have an endless supply of money from the township residents. And so we have to make those decisions about what's most important and what's the most effective for public safety. So I appreciate that you have always been open and forthright about what you need, what you see, and how you can get there in a creative way. So thank you.
I appreciate it. And lastly, before I walk, my success, we've done, this has been a good run. And it's because of the men and women that work over there in our support staff. You have some great officers over here. Every one of them, I can't say every chief of police could stand in front of their community and look them in the eye and look at their elected officials and say that unanimously the department is bought into and cares about the community. And we have something different here. So it will continue. It's a great spot. They're a great department, and the officers over there are just outstanding. So that's the reason we're so successful. So, thank you.
Now with the,
Public participation.
Public participation.
now with that public participation, 5 minutes. Yes, just state your name, your address, and you can also write it on.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pamela Frank. I live at 8 Pin Oak Drive for the last almost 26 years. Thank you. I know some of you, not all of you. I just wanted to make a very brief teaser, if you will. I'm here actually with 2 hats, a professional hat and a resident hat. Having been deeply involved in sustainable energy for the last 25, 30 years, and working as a senior vice president at a firm, Gable Associates, which has done work for this body, we came up with a really innovative community solar project that serves low and moderate income. It's very innovative. We worked on it for 5 years. It requires very little council resources. By design, we work with a lot of public entities. The bottom line of the program, which is running in a couple of places in New Jersey, is it gives Lawrenceville Township the ability to help its low and moderate income population by realizing savings on electricity bills upwards of 30–35%. That's what we've seen in the market because of a very unique design we came up with, working with our friends at the Board of Public Utilities, working with a lot of stakeholders. It's not like anything you have encountered before, I promise you that. Your neighbor in Princeton is working with us and pursuing this as well. Again, by design, because Gable's worked with public entities for as long as we've been around. So we know you guys do not have a lot in the way of extra resources, extra manpower. You gotta make sure the stuff you absolutely need to do works and works well. And so we designed this very purposely to be of a very low threshold for your involvement. You're not involved, but what I'm requesting is the ability to do a fuller presentation sometime in early 2025. I promise you, you will be interested. Given what's coming in the energy markets, and we know that costs are going to be increasing, it's kind of a really efficient way to get economic benefits to the folks that need it the most. Our other public assistance programs, like LIHEAP, require sort of an opt-in approach where people have to sign up. This has an opt-out design, reviewed by ratepayer, all the lawyers, and T's crossed, I's dotted. But it really is a very innovative nation-leading design. So I hope you'll give me the opportunity to explain it to you more fully and be able to bring these benefits to the ones in our community that need it the most. Interestingly enough, as we learned as we were developing this, when I was first talking to Kevin about it and Brenda, I said, you have your arms around your LMI community. In other words, do you know who they are, where they live? It's fascinating to me that most municipalities don't have that information. This program actually will give you that information, which I thought might be a good thing for a municipality to have. So, thanks. Oh, happy holidays.
Thank you. Just, if you could sign the sheet there as well. Is it okay?
Hello, everyone. Thomas Lilja, 15 East Darrell Lane. I thought I would come up tonight and talk about about the last meeting where A few of the residents of Cherry Tree Lane were voicing their concerns about delivery trucks from Trenton Block, blocking their street and making it, more unsafe for them to walk on. Now, the thing is that even though I live in a different neighborhood, I ask that that you all consider looking into a resolution that better ensures the safety of the residents of Cherry Tree Lane, because even though I don't live on that street, I consider myself privileged to have lived in a neighborhood that has plenty of sidewalks and roads that actually do have, proper medians to direct traffic. And I have always, I only got my first car just a few years ago. And before then, I was for transportation, whether it be going to work or going to school, I was mostly walking from point A to point B in my neighborhood. So I absolutely understand the importance of having safe walkways for people to traverse on. And I think that it would be great to look into making Cherry Tree Lane safer for its residents. Thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken Kieran, Gainsborough Road. I didn't expect Chris to be here, but I wanted to say something about him. I've known Chris, I've been a resident here for 35 years now. I think with this is the seventh chief that we've had since then. I knew Chris back when he was a dispatcher at Mercer County MICU when I was an EMT. Through the years, became friends with him, especially with a young son going through what he went through. And Chris would never have a problem calling me as a patrolman, as a sergeant. What he's done as a chief here, and I'm friends with Danny, I was friends with Mark, over the last 2.5 years, far exceeds any of the chiefs in the past. One, bringing back the Citizens Police Academy, it's only the third one we had. I was in number 2. But to bring that in, to be part of the community and let the people understand the decisions a police officer has to make. And I only did that after I turned down a police officer position in 1997. I wanted to see what they went through, the decisions they had to make. And we even went to the Trenton Police and did a drawdown exercise of what it was. And I'm pretty decent with firearms, but knowing that somebody could pull out a wallet and somebody that didn't know draws at that split second, and it's a wallet. So those split decisions these police officers make. But what Chris has done in the last 2.5 years and got this team to believe in him, I have not seen that in a chief since Danny first started. And what he's done with this team and bringing this team up to bring in the new chief coming in it's just amazing what he's done for us in the township. And I thank you as a friend and as a resident. Now, one other thing I just wanted to bring up is what I posted in the Lawrence Township community piece the other day. I didn't want to bring this up a few months ago, but it's about transparency and how this new town council states that we want to be transparent. Yet, when it was asked for the town council to have a council group to study versus a mayor, this is a town council. It was voted 3-2 to be a mayor's task force. Then the next comment was, can we put verbiage into this to be a cross-section of a full township? And that, I think the verbiage was, that goes without saying. Well, it did go without saying because the cross-section that's represented is not across the township. Transparency is not there, especially the transparency of not allowing somebody, the only person
that went for the rec position was denied a position, the only available position. Nobody else went for it, yet you turned down, and I'm not a fan of that person, I'm really not, but he's done a lot for this township in recreation and even started before me. And for what reason? There's no transparency, there's no answers. And one other thing, back to the FAA and the government stating that there's so many up there. Every UAS drone that's been manufactured over the last 5 years has to have a digital signal that can be tracked. Most of these ones that are cannot be tracked. So it's not a saying of, it's mostly public drones and stuff like that. It's not, because they're building them, even if with lights, everything has to be tracked and registered through the FAA. And these ones that are up there are not being tracked. So, thank you. Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Susan.
Good evening. My name is Ed Rosa. I live at 66 West Long Drive, right behind the plates here. I'm here on behalf of all the residents of Long Acres. Several years ago, actually, 2019, you helped support us with a resolution supporting our efforts for the wall. And currently, we're the closest that we have ever been through the help of Shirley Turner, who's been wonderful with our cause. And the next move is to speak with the new commissioner of DOT. And she suggested that we get an updated resolution, a current resolution that you still support our cause. We did have a member of our community email you guys yesterday. But we wanted to publicly ask for your support again. And also, what is the process of getting that resolution out? Can I have an answer with how long it would take? Because we're supposed to have a meeting with the commissioner. And it would be great if, when we have the meeting with Senator Turner, that we have the most recent resolution.
Mayor?
Yeah,
I participated in those meetings with Senator Turner and Jim Purvis, our municipal engineer.
Right.
And I will tell you, we support it completely. I'm not speaking on behalf of the governing body, but I have in the past with regard to this. The process of a resolution is basically some council member just has to request that a resolution of support be on the agenda, and then a vote is taken. So there's not a lot of magic to it. And I will not speak for you guys at all, but it's something that's been, we've been battling for a long time. They've done studies where it came back from the New Jersey DOT that it was not justified, that cost was not going to positively impact the number of people according to their equations, but that is now shifted because of the available funding. And so we're at this pocket of time where if there is support, we should show it now. Because we have captive ears.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, this is our last meeting of the year, so it would require for us to meet and come as a body to pass the resolution.
So
And
Mayor,
I think I did, oh, I'm sorry. I think I did provide you a
Yes.
copy that we had before.
Yes,
Right.
and we passed it on to Senator Turner, and she suggested that
Yes.
you get a
So we do
little
have
recent-
one that I
Yes.
found.
I was gonna say, Mayor, as the mayor at the time when we
Mhm.
passed the last one, and I'd met with the residents of Long Acres back in 2019,
Mhm.
and heard the traffic noise. I'd be more than willing to work with the clerk and put it up at our next meeting.
Yeah.
If you could,
Great.
we meet at the first and third Tuesday of January, so just let the clerk or the mayor, what time you need it by, and we'll make sure it's on the agenda.
All right, yeah, because I know that there's communication between Senator Turner and the commissioner on getting a meeting. We don't know if it's going to be in January or February, but I didn't know if you needed the process of like 2 meetings
No, we have
and
time.
and all of that.
No, resolutions only take one, ordinances
great.
take two.
All right, appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
What I didn't realize, Mayor, is that there was noise canceling asphalt used
Yes.
for 295 at that location, but the replacement and the repair brought back the old style asphalt, which the noise level amps up completely. So there was a time when it was reduced, but for whatever reason, the new roadways are making it a louder situation.
Sylvia Cobus, 1547 Ohio Avenue. I just would like to thank Chief Longo for doing a wonderful job. And I had an opportunity to speak to him last week and express our gratitude and all the appreciation for bringing all the, especially diversity to the department. I want to, it is approximately 7:08, Mr. Nerwinski, and I will agree with you that we do need more.
Wait a minute, 708?
Yes, 7:08. We've done this
Got
once at another meeting, so that's why I did that. So I will agree with you, and I hope that it is considered bringing more officers for the incoming chief, who I also had an opportunity to meet, and he made my husband and I feel so much better about a new chief coming in, with the excitement and the happiness of being a resident of the Lawrence Township. And we appreciate both of their work, and we look forward to seeing what we can do for the township. And happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim Cleek, another resident of 7 East Airline, 7 East Airline. Just also want to add my congratulations to Chief Longo's good move for him and bad for us. But a couple of times that I've had to approach him, I got rapid response and was most helpful. What I had to comment about, I'm not sure, it's not really directly to the township, but talking about Trenton Waterworks, I'm sure everybody who's serviced by Trenton Waterworks has gotten the 2 latest things, the regular things that we get to tell us there's absolutely no problem, but we're required to tell you that everything's fine. And one of them was because they had somebody who hadn't done the testing he was supposed to for, I think, a year before they finally got rid of it. And the other one is the standard one that they have to put out every year until they complete everything, which it sounds like it's going to be forever. And I've gone, and I've seen a number of people here that went to the meetings that they have fairly frequently down at the senior center. The last one a few months ago, Councilman Bobbitt and Manager Nowinski were both there. And the same man makes the presentation, and he seems knowledgeable and very sincere. But what he talks about, I forget what the astronomical amount of money they need to do everything that's required to stop these things coming all the time and to get them up to, and I don't know how it ever got that far behind. I mean, it couldn't be all Tony Mack's fault. It must go back a lot further than that. I don't know. But the more significant was that a couple of weeks ago on New Jersey Spotlight News with Renata Benzozzi, I heard that the company that they contracted with to replace the lead pipes in Newark, and this was Newark that was talking on this program, is fraudulent. Number one, nobody seems to know why this company which is supposedly not qualified, but more than that, they falsified these things. Apparently there's fraud. And then they went on to say that the same company is contracted to go ahead in Trenton, which is going to, I guess, eventually, I would think, impact the water people who are using that water in all the surrounding townships that are cut. So that's what I wanted to just mention, that if I didn't, whether it's pertinent for us to bring that up, because what the activist from Trenton who was on there was very critical of the mayor, who I had previously thought well of, but it seems as though he's preoccupied more recently with all the problems that they have with their police department. And people are there at the council meetings. I guess they haven't realized yet that they might be paying for water pipe replacements that aren't happening. So I wondered whether we wanted to put our 2 cents in.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you,
comments.
and happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah.
Mayor, I do have a comment with regard
Yeah, you can
to
talk
what
to
was
us.
said.
Mhm.
I just want to remind the community that the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, through the New Jersey Attorney General's office, had filed a lawsuit against Trenton Water Works several years ago. And they have, that lawsuit was joined by Lawrence Township, Ewing, and Hamilton to advocate on behalf of our township customers. That lawsuit is still ongoing because we're trying to navigate through all the things that Trenton Water Works is required to do under a consent order that was overseen by the court, as well as negotiated and regulated by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. Any work that's going to be done by the facility is directly under the oversight of the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. So what happened in Newark will not happen here in this town or in the city of Trenton with regard to Trenton Water Works, because they're under strict guidelines with regard to their lead replacement. So we're on it in terms of advocating on behalf of our township customers. They've got a lot of work to do, but there's been decades of not investing in their infrastructure that they're trying to catch up on now, which is going to cost.
Yeah, when you go to those meetings, you can see, I mean,
whatever it is, it's a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
But, I will not advocate for Trenton Water Works. I will advocate for this town, our customers, and the fact that we are involved in the lawsuit, and we want to sit at the table moving forward on how they regulate and do their things as a facility.
Thanks.
Okay, seeing no additional public participation, I'm closing public participation at this time. Thank you, Chief Longo. Now moving on, to review and revisions on the agenda. Councilman Bobbitt.
Mayor, if I may, because of our sort of skeleton crew today, I think it's only appropriate to table 8A, the regular meeting minutes of August 20th, as well as 10A, the introduction of ordinance 2480-24, amending the municipal code for the deputy municipal clerk position. Would it be all right to table that to our next meeting? Does that make sense?
Yes.
To the first
Yes.
of January, all right. So I'll stop right there and make that motion, then I have one more to make as well.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes.
All right, Mayor, and then I will also make a motion to remove 18H3, which was authorizing a closed session of council, seeing as we don't need one, and then replacing H3 with Resolution 40924, Garden State Municipal Joint Insurance Fund Joint Trust Agreement, and Resolution to rejoin. I understand that starts January 1st, so we need to do it before January 1st.
Yes.
So that's the motion I'll make, is to add that to our agenda.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes. That brings us now to the awarding and/or rejection of bids.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to move 9A, number 404, authorizing a contract to Techna Pro Electrical LLC for traffic signal maintenance 2025.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes. And adoption of ordinances, number 11.
See anything?
No, there, okay. Brings us to the manager's report.
I don't have anything to report, other than I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. I made one observation. I don't know if you've gone down Route 1, where the site of the former Sleepy Hollow Hotel.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, this new hotel just kind of all came together with they have the landscaping pretty much done. It looks wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's a really good addition to that area and helps our town as well. So, and then the left-hand turn from 206 onto Lawrenceville Pennington Road is working well, except muscle memory is causing still people to take a U-turn and then figure out that they could have made the direct turn.
I love that turn. Okay. Thank you. Is there an attorney's report?
Yes, Mayor, nothing really, since we've taken off the ordinance, I don't have anything special, but of course, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to all our residents, and look forward to another productive year next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Madam Clerk?
Here, I have no report. I just want to say happy holidays to everyone, and I'll see you in the new year. God willing.
Yes. Any unfinished business? New business?
I have some new business.
Okay.
I have 3 items, if that's all right, Mayor. First, I just want to say, I was looking over some of the minutes of our advisory committees, and I noticed some of the committee meeting minutes, apologies, I have fighting a cold, are being submitted with the committee itself did not meet due with the required quorum at that date. It's my understanding that if a quorum's not met at a committee meeting, that it's not official meeting, correct?
Correct.
So I just wanted to remind council members as liaisons to sort of take a look at all of our committees and make sure that we're all following quorum rules.
Absolutely.
All right, and then second, last meeting I asked in the spirit of unity, if you could share with me, Mayor, the membership of your task force on the community center before it was made public. You say that you take it under advisement, and then I found out from a resident the next day that it was published in the Lawrence Ledger. without a courtesy email to any member of the council, before the publishing.
Oh, I apologize, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
It was in there with all the, it didn't have actual names, but it had all their sort of affiliations. And it was disappointing to me because it reminded me of a section of the Faulkner Act entitled Municipal Counties Should Act as a Body, Administrative Service to be performed to the manager of committees and commissions. And I'll just read this because I think it's pertinent to this situation.
Before you do that.
Yeah.
If you know in the ordinance or the resolution that we passed, it says that a member of council can attend the meetings.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, I
Okay.
understand that. It's the intention of this article that the municipal council shall act in all matters as a body, and it is contrary to the spirit of the article for any of its members to seek individually to influence the official acts of the municipal manager, any other officer, or for the council or its members to direct or request the appointment of any person to or its removal from office to interfere in any way with the performance of such officers or their duties. It goes on to say, nothing herein shall prevent the municipal council from appointing committees or commissions of its own members or of citizens to conduct investigations into the conduct of any office, department, and it goes on. What I'm wondering is, my reading this, and I'm not looking for an answer tonight, so.
But I can give you an answer.
But I'd like to ask for some clarification concerning a task force and its membership when this section clearly states municipal council shall act in all matters as a body. And I understand none of us, Mr. Knack and myself and others, the majority of this council did not appoint any of these members.
But you voted on the act of creating a mayor's council.
But we didn't appoint anyone to that, right? We created a body, but we didn't, much like the recreation committee, correct?
It was a legal act, which I ran past council, and which all of you voted, and you were made aware prior to the creation of the mayor's task force.
I understand that, but I would think that would be similar to
Yes,
saying,
yes. Yes, you did vote.
Mayor, I have one more thing to say, but before we leave this one, I'd just like to say, in that case, would it be out of order for Mr. Kanaki to just appoint someone to the recreation committee? That's all, I'll leave it there.
I don't believe it's the same law. This is a different act.
All right. And then I just wanted to make sure, because last year was a little strange, about whether Mr. Sypek is coming back in 2025. Because last year, Mr. Kanaki, Mr. Powers, and myself, the majority of the governing body at the moment, at that time, had no idea that the former township attorney wasn't going to be renewed for this year. There's no bidding process, requests for qualifications were put out. There's no list of candidates, no resumes were provided to all.
Do you have someone in mind?
No,
Are you not satisfied with our council?
I'm just saying that last year, the process was such
Last
that
year was last year. I can't speak to that.
I will say that this year, at our January reorganization, you stated, we'll get you more information at our next meeting. Later that meeting, you said, this choice was discussed within council. You mentioned.
I do not
A
have
contract-
initially.
a contract
We
was-
built as a body, and we follow the rules and the laws that are governed by this township. Nothing was done out of order or outside of the law.
I would just like to end with, at that meeting, you said, absolutely, we will be absolutely an inclusive council of all 5 members. You have my word on that, and I will hold you to that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's all.
All right, that brings us to the next portion of our meeting. Public participation, 3 minutes. Okay. Seeing none. Do you have any resolutions? Releases. This will bring us to refunds. Councilman Bobby, do you want to introduce those?
I will move 18D1 and 2 and H1 through 3 in a block.
D1 and 2. There's the one for that.
Those are the only ones on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Robert, I think you removed H3 earlier. No?
I replaced it with,
Oh, with the other one.
with
You're
number
right.
40924, the chip.
Just so it's clear.
Yep.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Special items. Professional services agreements, no. Grants, no. You're moving H3?
Pardon?
You already did that.
Yes, I moved D1 and 2, H1 through 3.
All right, thank you very much. Council initiatives and liaison reports. You ready? Councilman Robert, do you have any reports?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. All right, written communication. We received a letter from Senator Turner. I'll just read that, enter it into the record. Okay. Dear Mayor Hendricks Farmer, I was pleased to receive notice that Lawrence Township has been awarded $602,010 through the New Jersey FY 2025 Municipal Aid Grants for roadway preservation. It is my understanding that the award is to be used to fund the Boarding Group Capital Infrastructure Improvement Project. I am pleased that our community will benefit from this investment and improvements to enhance roadway infrastructure and safety. It is my sincere hope that the near future will provide additional funding opportunities for Lawrence Township to continue its great work with our residents. Again, congratulations. If I can be of any assistance to you, please do not hesitate to contact my office. Sincerely, Shirley K. Turner, Senator, 15th District. All right, well, I want to thank this council for a first year. It has been a tremendous honor and pleasure to serve with all four of you. Councilman Bobbitt, thank you for your comments. Appreciate that. You make me a better councilwoman. Mayor. And also for Councilman Kaneki. And also for Township Manager Nowinski. You have been a tremendous teacher. I've learned so much about our great town this first year. Councilman, I'm bringing you here with me.
No, thank you.
Mr. Sypek, it has been an honor. You've done our town a tremendous service. And Madam Clerk, thank you for all that you do for all of us on a regular basis. We appreciate the tremendous effort and commitment and sacrifice that I know you make on behalf of all of council. I want to thank you for all your work. And I want to thank the public. Thank you for your participation in democracy in making us a stronger town. And as we know from our Chief Longo, a safer town as well. We all do this together. It's very important work. And I appreciate it. And I have to share the gentleman that you spoke today, your compassion for your neighbor is really noticed. Thank you for that. That means a lot.
Means a lot to me.
Yeah, and with that, I just want to wish you.
That means a lot to me too.
Yeah, that was very touching. So I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a great and prosperous New Year. See you in January. Thank you.
Mayor, can I just say something real
Sure.
quick?
Mhm.
My life this year turned
You want to
over.
come to the podium?
Well, I guess I could, yeah.
Maybe.
Many know me anyway.